Alright, hey guys, welcome in today. I got a quick little video on a practice for, you guys know how important practice is to me, of course. So I have a little video on practice for perspective. This would be kind of a prequel or kind of a beginning day practice before I would introduce a perspective project. Alright, so mostly what I'm going to be doing is 1-point perspective, but if you think you have already mastered the 1-point perspective, I do have a 2-point perspective practice also that you can do with your names that has basically 2 points going from edge to edge, and then it comes almost at you towards the middle, and then you take those lines and then add your name, the letters actually, and turn those letters into kind of going to the opposite vanishing point on opposite side. There's a cool project that goes along with that, but this would be a good practice. If you've already kind of mastered the 1-point perspective and you think you're pretty confident in that, give yourself a try on the 2-point perspective, because that's a fun thing also. Just to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page, and just to teach some that don't know that much about perspective and how to get things going off into distance to make your paper appear as if it's kind of 3D, just on a flat sheet of paper, a 2D sheet of paper. So what I would do is I would give them this sheet of paper, and you can see I already did kind of some on the other side, but I'm going to do the other side with you guys. So basically it just takes a bunch of random shapes, but it definitely has a vanishing point. And what a vanishing point is the point at which every item will vanish towards. That's usually on a horizon line, so that's what that line is in the middle of a lot of perspective pictures. That's the horizon line, and then the vanishing point. This one's kind of large. So on this side I kind of started to put all of them towards that. The important thing, there's a couple important tricks and tips that I go through for every perspective unit. Making sure that your lines are straight and that all the edges visible, or the edges closest to the vanishing point, will have connecting lines to the vanishing point. So what I mean by that is that this, let's take into example this rectangle down here. So if you can see the vanishing point over here, this edge of this rectangle would not be one of the closest ones. So usually on shapes like this, there'll be 3. So this one, and this one would be visible, or would be the closest 3 edges to the vanishing point. So then those lines would connect. This line would kind of go through the box, so those ones you don't need to do. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna crank this out on the other side. I'm gonna go a little bit fast, but then you'll see how that looks as it's done. It'll look really, really similar to this side. So here we go. All right, so I got all those points, and what I did just on a couple of them, and what I would continue and encourage you guys to do, is add some shading on every other one. I think if you do it on every other one, that'll get you a chance to kind of separate one from the other, because they kind of are really clustered in on this sheet of paper. So I think giving some shading and value to every other one will kind of separate them and make it look a little bit more authentic. So I'll do that real quick now. All right, and just through the magic of YouTube like that, it is all done. So every other one has a little value and shading. This is a good way to practice your value scales too, from light to dark. You can kind of just alternate it and kind of invent some of those values that are really on these sheets. And I was also thinking, as I was doing that, if you don't have a sheet, I just printed this off a Google image pretty easily, but you can make one yourself just by drawing a simple line and then a vanishing point and some random shapes kind of around there. So that would be pretty easy. So definitely, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, hit the likes. That's always a good way to find out which videos of mine that you like. And as always, hit the subscribe button. Also, subscribe is the best way to get to my channel. Just shows up in your little news feed on your YouTube, or emails you when a new video coming out, which are multiple times a week I come up with new videos. And hit a comment below on maybe your best perspective project, because there's a lot of perspective projects, whether it's a city, or a lot of people do perspective things with their name and shapes and stuff like that. So there's some cool ones. So hit them, comment below down on that. As always, I am Mr. Schuette. This is Mr. Schuette's art class, and we will see you guys later.